This video is brought to you by Taurus.
With the optical qualities of glass and a fluidity that only Apple can achieve.
You see, as soon as iOS 26 dropped, I had to install it on my iPhone 16 Pro, and as I was exploring everything new, I stumbled upon some tips and tricks that actually trickle down previous iOS releases. So, I decided to circle back and focus this episode on beginner-friendly concepts, clever tips, and some cool iPhone 16 Pro accessories that I've discovered over the last few months. Things that can help people get the most out of their iPhones, whether they're using the latest model or something a bit older. And while this is based on iOS 26, most of what I've written down carries over the previous versions as well. Of course, an all-new Ultimate iPhone home screen episode is already in the works, but for now, let's just kick things off with some basic tricks that surprisingly, a lot of people still don't know exist. In a previous episode, which I'll link at the end of this one, I showcased the simple two-finger tap and drag gesture in the Files app, which quickly batch selects files. It's a great little shortcut, but it doesn't always work when the files are scattered across different parts of a folder. That's where the good old tap and hold comes into play. Once I hold on a file, I can move it out of place and then use my other hand or some creative finger gymnastics to tap on additional files no matter where they are and keep adding to the selection pile. From there, I can drag and drop them pretty much anywhere. This tap and hold selection method works system-wide, by the way, whether I'm using the Photos app, Notes, or I'm anywhere else that supports multiple selections. And while I'm still in the Files app, here's one more. After selecting a few files, I just tap the three-dot menu and see the option to quickly create a new folder with those items inside. Okay, so this is the traditional Moth wallet that I've been raving about for years. And this is something that I've mentioned a few times in the past as well, which is the Moth tripod and stand, which is very clever. Now, there is a hybrid between the two that Moth has introduced, and it is called the Invisible Phone Tripod Wallet. And this is what it looks like. It's very slim. Of course, it attaches magnetically to the back of the iPhone, and it also retains the functionality of the tripod wallet like this, where you can prop the phone anywhere you like. But it also has some space here for two cards, which I think is very clever. Looks very premium, the hinge is super sturdy, and it is something to consider as well. Now at this point, you might have noticed some weird artifacts on my iPhone 16 Pro screen, and that's not a glitch, just the result of a faulty screen protector. Believe it or not, this is the D brand Prism, and I must have gotten lucky and picked a defective unit from the batch. But to their credit, D brand is one of the few companies that include a second one in the box. So I'll just swap it out for a proper one and show you how easy that is. Of all these screen protectors I've tried, the Prism is still the easiest to install in my opinion and the most forgiving about the edges. And honestly, I can't overstate how much I hate scraping my finger against a cheap screen protector every time I swipe up to go home or do some gestures. By the way, if you end up enjoying this video, subscribe, because why not? Talking about gestures, I want to show you a few other ones I personally find super useful. Let's say I want to select some text and make life easier for myself. Here's what I do. I tap anywhere on the text, then hold the spacebar to activate the cursor, which usually lets me move around freely. But here's a trick. While holding that, I tap and hold with another finger somewhere else on the keyboard, and then use the spacebar swipe to start selecting text with a lot more control and precision. Now, it might sound complicated, but it's really easy to get used to. Speaking of control, if I accidentally delete something, all I need is a three-finger swipe to the left to undo, and that works system-wide. And if for some reason I forget the formatting options, a simple three-finger tap reveals a shortcut menu for copy, paste, redo, and undo. Liquid glass is cool, but sometimes it might get too messy, especially if you have like a busy background and a lot of widgets and stuff like that. So in order to fix that and maybe take a step back to an older iOS version, you can go to Accessibility, Display and Text Size, and Reduce Transparency. And now, if I pull down the control center, things look a lot cleaner. And the same thing applies for the app library. Another cool accessory that I want to show you pretty much replaces this. And it is your access to your PlayStation remote. This is called the Backbone controller. And it is a PlayStation edition specifically designed for that, but of course it can be used with other games and with Backbone's own gaming roster. And it's very simple to use. All I have to do is connect the iPhone via the USB-C cable here, attach it like so. I can unlock it, and then at this point all I can do is press the Backbone button, which will start the Backbone app where I have access to a lot of things, and then I can just tap on the PlayStation and connect remotely to my PS5. And this thing is a lot of fun. Now, it doesn't have any vibration engines or stuff like that, but it is very compact and it's probably one of the easiest way to remote play your PS. One thing I rely on a lot in my workflow is the iPhone's microphone, but probably not in the way you'd expect. I'm talking about screen recordings. There are plenty of times I want to record the screen on my Mac and capture audio, whether that is quick voiceover or just some natural Foley sounds like mouse clicks. So here's what I do. I trigger the built-in screen recording on the Mac, then select my iPhone as the audio source, and if I need those click sounds, for example, I just place the iPhone close to the mouse and boom. Instant texture. This is actually something that we use a lot when showcasing software on the channel. Okay, so the audio recording right now is coming from the iPhone itself, which means that if I place it right next to my mouse, I will be able to catch those Foley mouse clicks and scrolls, and thus turn the screen recording into something a lot more interesting to watch. Back to accessories. This is the Taurus FlexLine dual-port charger, and it's unique in a few ways, the most noticeable being the retractable cable. It completely eliminates tangled cords, and having a built-in cable means I'll never forget one. The foldable design keeps my bag and everything inside safe from scratches, and with 67 watts output, it's powerful enough to charge my computer, phone, and another device via the additional USB-C port. Aside from being robust, the magnetic self-locking and rebound mechanism is just too satisfying to ignore. On the other hand, the Taurus Mini-Mag power bank is perhaps the thinnest I've ever used, and it snaps on with real confidence. The best way to describe it is barely there. Slim, light, and totally pocket-friendly. It is also perfect for the iPhone 16 Pro because you can top it up from 0 to 90%, no problem. Both the FlexLine charger and the Mini-Mag deliver uncompromising Taurus quality, so check them out in the first link in the description below. Okay, so I know everyone is familiar with AirDrop, but let me introduce you to its best friend, the USB-C cable. This is what makes AirDrop actually reliable, especially when I'm sending large files to people who don't use Blip like I do. For smaller batches like photos and short clips, the cable makes things nearly instant. And when I'm moving something heavier, plugging it in guarantees the transfer won't get interrupted and saves time in the process. And if you're thinking, look, I'm not carrying a cable around just for that. Don't worry, you don't have to. Just check out this little keychain. This is the Nomad Charge Key, and somehow it can deliver 240 watts of power and 10 gigabits data transfer into something you can clip right onto your keys. Whether it's Father's Day, Christmas, or just one of those I need a useful gift moments, honestly, I don't think you can do much better than this. It's an absolute time saver. Speaking of saving time, if you want to crop a photo, don't even bother jumping into the edit menu. Just open it in the Photos app, zoom in with your fingers until it looks the way you want it, then tap crop on the top right and done. And when you're annotating or just sketching in the Notes app or simply on a screenshot, try this. After drawing a shape like a circle, square, arrow, or even a star, keep holding your finger on the screen for a second and iOS will automatically turn it into a clean, perfect version of that shape. One of the smallest little upgrades I've made recently is this Banks Armor Gold magnetic wallet stand, and honestly, it's the first real contender that might replace my trusty Moft wallet. It's a slim magnetically attached wallet that holds up to 3 cards securely and folds out into a surprisingly sturdy stand. It's perfect for propping the iPhone 16 Pro to watch videos pretty much anywhere, and the materials give it a premium feel with a sleek, structured silhouette. It weighs almost nothing, by the way, and unlike other magnetic wallets I've tried, it doesn't flop around or feel like an afterthought. Okay, allow me to show you something iOS 26 specific. Now this is the older iOS 18 or the current version of iOS. And one thing people have been complaining about is the snooze option, which is fixed and has always been fixed. And I believe it's 9 minutes, which many consider to be too long, allowing you to fall in a deep sleep again. Well, with iOS 26, finally, there's an option to customize your snooze to pretty much any interval you like. So it's there, and to me personally, I think 3 minutes is the sweet spot. Now, there are plenty of times I stumble across a URL that isn't clickable, something you've probably seen on YouTube Shorts or even in a random screenshot. With the iPhone 16 Pro or really any model running the latest iOS, taking a screenshot now reveals visual intelligence features, kind of like circle to search on Android. And with iOS 26, it's even more automated, where the system recognizes and suggests URLs directly from what's visible on the screen. If it's the other way around, say the URL is on the TV or the computer, visual intelligence kicks in when you hold the camera button in the camera app. It recognizes the text, including links, and offers quick actions right from the viewfinder. Now in Safari, there is now a very simple way to bookmark something. So whenever you have something opened that you want to save for later as a bookmark, all you have to do is double tap on the 3 little dots on the bottom and boom, you get this prompt and you can instantly bookmark it. Very nice. If you're traveling with a significant other and you want to enjoy the same video in private or just share a silly TikTok, while your AirPods are already connected, here's a quick trick. Swipe down to open Control Center, tap on the AirPlay icon and hit Share Audio. Then just bring a second pair of AirPods, which might not be yours, close to the iPhone and confirm the share. Now both sets of AirPods are connected to the same device and you're watching or doom scrolling in sync. Now, one of the things that has always driven me crazy whenever I'm using my AirPods is when I connect or start my car and the phone connects to it, because I immediately have the audio being transferred to the car itself. And then it's the weird moment of, hold on, let me just switch to the AirPods again because my AC is blowing like crazy. So finally, this is fixed in iOS 26. So if I go to General and then scroll down to AirPlay and Connectivity, I now have the option to keep the audio in the headphones. So as long as my AirPods are in my ears, the phone call or whatever I'm listening to will remain in the AirPods, even if my car connects to it. So kudos for that. Speaking of traveling, one thing I picked up while in San Jose was the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, a gimbal that helped me shoot the Cupertino Apple Park episode. The built-in extension stick and tripod legs gave me the freedom to capture some really unique time-lapse shots, and of course, being a gimbal, it nailed those smooth walk-around clips, including my favorite part, the full indoor tour. With a ton of clever Insta360 AI magic baked into the app, plus the fact that it folds down into something that is almost pocketable, it's become my no-brainer to pack when it's time to travel. And here's one for the polite escape artists. If you get a call you'd rather ignore without the other person knowing, just activate airplane mode while the phone is ringing. From their end, it will trigger a call-failed beep or message, and your conscience will stay clean. By the way, running the latest iOS beta often means dealing with an iPhone that feels like it's trying to cook itself. And that's exactly where this little bug comes in. It's called the Mag Fusion Game Frost by Aukey, and it's not your average wireless charger. Thanks to an active cooling system Aukey calls OmniFreeze, it can dramatically lower charging temperatures, making everything cooler, faster, and far more efficient. For everyday use, it means optimized wireless charging. For gaming sessions, it's the perfect solution to keep things from overheating. And in my case, when the iPhone starts to freak out and turns into a pocket-sized furnace, I just drop it onto the Game Frost and let it reconsider its life choices. This is one of those gadgets that might seem like a gimmick at first, but actually delivers on every promise. It's a surprisingly effective wireless charger, a reliable cooling solution, and a solid stand all into one. And the best part, it doesn't cost much more than Apple's own basic charging puck. If you enjoyed this video, then you should definitely check out my latest Ultimate iPhone Home Screen episode, where I talk about shortcuts, widgets, and a lot more. Like and subscribe to the channel as well as my newsletter, and as always, It's been an absolute pleasure. This is Z, over and out.